Okay, hi guys. Welcome to week 11 of Action English. Today we'll be looking at Unit 7. Before we start, I'll just go through the regular rigmarole. Let's see. Your books you're already aware of, but make sure that you're keeping up with your listening practice, okay? You should be getting past and into Unit 7 for your listening practice as well. There is a test in just a few more weeks for both books. Our attendance points continue with both the comment section in your YouTube after you've watched the video. Please leave your information as usual, as well as attend Zoom class for your other attendance point for the week. And we will be reviewing the answers for your Unit 6 this week, so don't be late. And make sure that you are getting there on time. All right. Yes, Unit 7, we'll be going through the same thing as usual. Going through the videos together today, talking about some of the questions, and making sure that you understand all the vocabulary and grammar to prepare for your test. Please do not be late with any future submissions. Make sure that you are early so that you can check your work before and after it's posted as a submission, and you can correct it if you have any problems. And if you do have any problems, you can also, of course, refer anything to me. I would say use Edmodo first, because I will be checking that very frequently, as I do, and email if it's impossible to hear back from me. Okay, you can also call my office phone, 249-1723. Alright, just a second. Alright guys, so let's get into it. Unit 7, how do I get there? And today we'll be looking at learning how to make a phone call, ask about public transportation, give directions. There's a story about getting lost we'll go through. And for the writing section, you can write directions to a place. But first, let's take a look at the opening page. Okay, here we have a busy intersection in a city. Read the title, How Do I Get There? And the learning goals we just talked about. Look at the photo of the city. How can people move around the city? So obviously we have a few different ways to get around. You can see a few examples already. We have people on a bicycle. This is kind of like a little bit of a bicycle taxi, I suppose. The buses, of course, and taxis, and other people are walking. I'm sure you could probably think of other ways to get around, such as a subway system under the ground, or a tram, or other ways as well. Now read Rosa's message. Where is she going next week? Okay, Rosa says, I'm going to New York City for work next week. This is going to be so much fun. Pretty simple questions to get through. Remember, you can always use a post-it if you don't have enough space there, or you can write down your answers on a couple of workbook pages, notebook pages. Okay, let's go to the next page and take a look. Okay. So lesson 1 is making a phone call. Alright, and we have, these are different tourist attractions and activities. Activities to do. Okay, let's have a listen.
Listen. A theme park. A monument. A tourist information booth. A square. A street market. A museum. A stadium. A theater.
Okay, so these are different places.
Take a tour.
These are activities.
Watch a game. See a show. Walk around.
Okay.
Now listen and repeat.
Well, you can do that on your own.
A theme.
So we just listened. Okay, you can just rewind it yourself. Here it says pairs, but you can do this on your own too, guys. And then we can think about how much time we have together to answer these in pairs for our Zoom classes. Which items in 1A are places to go? Okay. Places to go. Which are things to do? Well, it's pretty simple. We have this yellow background here, and then we have a red background describing activities. So just write out your answers, okay? Don't try not to skip anything so you can practice your writing skills as well as your comprehension. How many of the places in 1A can you name in your city? Okay, your hometown. Do you have a theme park or a monument? What's the name? Do you have a tourist information booth? Okay, a square is generally a large area mainly for pedestrians. Okay, a square is usually not for a lot of drivers or cars. It's basically just for people to walk through. Okay, and it's usually in the shape of a square. Okay, around cultural buildings or tourist attractions. Street market, a museum, a stadium, a theater. How many of these places do you have in your city? Okay. Here's the speaking. Notice how we talk on the phone. Listen and repeat. Okay, so you can listen to this.
Listen. Answering the phone.
TSW Design, this is Paul Odell. Hello, this is Paul. How may I help you?
Calling someone.
Hi, Paul. This is Ann Wheeler. How are you? Hello, this is Ann Wheeler. May I speak to Jeff Schultz?
Ending a call.
Well, I should go. Bye. Nice talking to you. Take care.
Ending a message.
Could you call me back? Thanks. I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.
Now listen and repeat.
Well, that's okay. You just heard it. You can listen again. So obviously, these are exactly what they say they are. Answering the phone, okay, if someone calls you. Calling someone, introducing yourself. Ending a call, okay, when you're finished talking to someone. Or ending a message. If you're just leaving a message, you're not actually speaking to anyone, you're just leaving a message. You could ask them to call you back or hear from you. Okay, I hope to hear from you soon. What are the people doing? In each conversation, what are the people doing? Circle the correct number. Are they answering the phone? Okay, number 1. Let's check it out.
Conversation 1.
Hi, Rex. This is Steve. I have a question about your market research report. Could you call me back, please? Thanks. Bye.
Okay, so they already tell you that one. Okay, obviously, number 1, this person was calling someone, okay, themselves. But because the person was not able to answer the phone, they left a message. So you could also hear ending a message, okay, in the same for number one. They were not answering the phone. They were not ending a call. Okay, a call is a spoken conversation. A message is just a message for someone that you haven't contacted in person. Okay, so you're leaving a message on their machine. Let's listen to the rest.
Conversation 2.
Hello, this is Nancy Corbin. May I speak to Angela Diaz?
Sorry, she's not available right now. Can I take a message?
Conversation 3.
Thanks so much for your help.
You're welcome.
Well, I should go. Take care.
Bye.
Conversation 4.
Nice talking to you. Goodbye. Thanks. You too. Bye.
Conversation 5.
Hi, Ken. This is Ben Steiner. I wanted to talk to you about the TSW ad campaign. Please call me back. I hope to hear from you soon. Goodbye.
Conversation 6.
TSW Design. This is Jen. How may I help you?
Hello, Jen. This is Mark Miller.
Oh, hi, Mark. How are you?
Okay. Should be able to do that. After that, we're going to circle the words that you hear.
1,
Could you call me back, please?
2,
Hello, this is Nancy Corbin. May I speak to Angela Diaz?
3,
Well, I should go. Take care.
4,
Nice talking to you. Goodbye.
5,
Please call me back. I hope to hear from you soon. Goodbye.
6,
TSW Design. This is Jen. How may I help you?
Okay. That should be fairly easy for all of you. Now, whoops. We're going to go back to this page there. Pronunciation. On the top of page 79, it talks about pronunciation, how we are linking words together. Okay. And basically, they want you to practice linking a vowel to a vowel. Okay, A, E, I, O, U. If a word ends in a vowel and the next word starts with a vowel, okay, we usually have less pause between words. Okay, we often add a short Y or W sound to link the words smoothly. So first we'll do the practice coach. Just a moment.
Linking a vowel to a vowel. We often link words together when we speak. We connect the sound at the end of one word to the sound at the beginning of the next word. 2 apples. 3 eggs. When one word ends in a vowel sound and the next word begins with a vowel sound, we link the words together. Listen. Hi, Ann. How are you? May I speak to Simon? Who is this? We link the words together without stopping. We don't stop the air or the voice between the words. So, we don't stop between hi and Ann when we say, Hi, Ann. We often add a very short Y or W sound to help link the vowels together smoothly. Hi, Ann. How are you? May I speak to Simon? Who is this? We say both vowel sounds, but we use a short Y or W sound to connect them without a break. How do you know which sound, Y or W, to add? The linking sound depends on the vowel at the end of the first word. We add a short linking Y sound when the first word ends with the vowel E, see it, A, say it, I, try it, or oi, enjoy it. Do you see it? Can you say it? Why don't you try it? Enjoy it. We add a short W sound when the first word ends with the sound O, know it, ooh, do it, or ow, how it. Do you know it? Did you do it? I know how it works. But you don't have to remember all those vowel sounds. The choice of linking W or Y is actually pretty easy. When we say the W sound, W, we make our lips round. W. Our lips are also rounded at the end of the vowels O, oo, and ow. So, we add a short W sound to link a rounded vowel sound at the end of a word to a vowel at the beginning of the next word. The lips are wide and not rounded for the Y sound, Y. The lips are also wide at the end of the vowels E, A, I, and oi. So we add a short Y sound to link these vowels to a vowel at the beginning of the next word. Notice that the spelling of these vowel sounds often includes the letter Y or W. Very interesting. Play a song. Try again. Know a lot. A new idea. How are you? We do use the linking sound even when there is no Y or W in the spelling. Coffee or tea. Go out. Too expensive. Listen to these examples of linking a vowel to a vowel. I can't do it. Try again. Are you free in the afternoon? No, I have tickets to a show in New York. How often do you eat out? I always go out to lunch on Friday. Now you try it. Listen and repeat. Click on pause after each sentence. I can't do it. Try again. Are you free in the afternoon? No, I have tickets to a show in New York. How often do you eat out? I always go out to lunch on Friday.
Okay, so after listening to the coach, you should have a pretty good idea where we're going with this. Hi Abby, how are you? May I speak to Jeff? Can I ask you a question? Okay, there's different linking sounds between vowels. Here we're going to listen and complete the sentences with the words that you hear. And listen and mark the links. Okay. So write down the word and the linking sound.
Listen. 1,
How long will you be in New York?
2,
How do I get to Central Park?
3,
Should we go to a museum?
4,
Turn right at the corner and you'll see it.
5,
2 or 3 days.
6,
Good idea. We can also see a play.
Now listen again.
That's okay. You can listen as many times as you like. Listen or watch. Well, we're going to watch, and you can find the correct answers for part A, and then complete the conversation, part B. You can practice along and make new conversations if you'd like, using your own ideas, okay, for activities or places to see. Okay, let's start with the video, and you'll be able to finish this page after you've watched it. Okay.
Hi, Rosa. How are you?
Great, thanks. Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure. How can I help?
So you know I'm coming to New York on Sunday.
Of course. We can't wait to see you. What time are you getting in?
In the morning, but then I have the afternoon free. What do you think I should do? Maybe see a show?
That's a good idea. You can also visit a street market or take a tour of a museum.
Oh, a street market sounds interesting.
Yeah, they're cool. Some have food or people selling different things. You should go to one.
I'd love to. Do you have a favorite? Which one should I go to?
Well, I really like the Sunny Day Street Market. I'll send you a link.
Thanks. And what about going to the theater?
Oh, yeah, you said you want to see a show.
Yeah. Is there time?
I think so. I'll send you some links. You can see a show and then just walk around the city.
Awesome. I'll do that. Oh, sorry. I need to take this call. I should go. Thanks so much for your help, though.
Anytime, Rosa. See you Monday.
Okay. So you should have all the information from the video to finish page 79. Let's go to page 80. And here we're going to be talking about asking about public transportation, which is quite useful. Okay. Ask about public transportation. Some vocabulary. Different ways to get around. Let's have a listen.
listen,
A train. A subway. A shuttle. A rental bicycle. A bus. A tram. A ferry. A taxi.
now listen and repeat.
Okay. Here we have another classic question for you to answer with your own writing. Again, please don't be shy to use another place to write if you have there's not a lot of room in these textbooks. So, what kinds of transportation do you use? Which don't you like and why? Okay, so you should be able to talk about what you do use and what you don't enjoy using and giving a reason for both. For instance, I use trains, buses, and taxis. How about you? I do too, but I don't like buses. There are too many people on them. There's a quick grammar review on the bottom of this page. There is and there are review. This would be, I hope, very simple review for all of you. We're just going to watch the video before we talk about anything.
Hello. Today's lesson is on there is and there are. But first, let me show you a photo of my apartment. There is a small kitchen. It's an eat-in kitchen. There is no dining room. The bedroom is small, but there are 2 closets in the bedroom. The living room is my favorite room. There are 3 big windows in the living room. It's very bright. We use there is to talk about singular nouns. For example, there is a small kitchen. There is no dining room. Theirs is the contraction of there is. We use theirs in spoken English and in informal writing. There's a small kitchen. There's no dining room. We use there are to talk about plural nouns. For example, there are 2 closets. There are 3 big windows. Notice the word order for yes-no questions with there is and there are. We put is or are before there. Is there a kitchen? Or are there closets? To answer yes-no questions with there, we can say, yes, there is, or no, there isn't. Yes, there are, or no, there aren't. Isn't is the contraction for is not. Aren't is the contraction for are not. We can use the full form no, there is not, and no, there are not, but we mostly use the contractions. We often use the word any with questions with are there and with statements with there aren't. For example, are there any closets? There aren't any closets. Now, are there any questions?
Right. So they do give you the chart for affirmative and negative statements, as well as yes-no questions as they spoke of, as well as short answers. There also have some notes here. I've got one more video to show you from this page before we go to practice. Just a moment.
Hello there. Today's lesson is on simple present tense questions with which and the words one and ones. I need a gift for my father. Can you help me? Which tie do you like? The red one or the blue one? We use questions with which to ask about choices. We use one or ones in the answer. We use one for singular things, like a tie or a jacket. We use ones for plural things, like shirts, or things in pairs, like shoes. For example, which tie do you like? The blue one. Which shoes does he like? The brown ones. The question is, which tie? Blue is my father's favorite color, so I guess it's the blue one.
Okay. Now that you have a pretty good idea of the grammar notes, we can go to page 140. Unit 7. Let's just go back a page here. Unit 6. Oh, I guess it starts here. Okay, so you can use there plus the verb to be using contractions when possible. Pretty simple. And it talks about a neighborhood, but we're gonna do a bit more talking about that before we get back to page 140. We'll do some listening in just a moment. Let's just go back to our last page, but you can certainly start with A. Okay, for page 81, we have listening. So one of the listening skills is thinking about purpose. When you listen, think about the purpose of the conversation. Okay, this will help you understand. For example, does a podcast tell a story? Does it provide information? Or does it show an emotion? Okay. If you're listening to someone who is speaking, okay, there's quite a bit difference between watching someone who is doing a regular news broadcast, someone who is doing an opinion piece, or someone who is like an actor doing a musical or something else. You can find the purpose of what they are trying to convey. And we're going to listen to this podcast and figure out what it's telling us, okay? What its purpose is. Here we go.
I'm Ben Perez, and this is On the Road, your in-flight travel podcast. Today, we're going to talk about getting around in one of the greatest cities in the world, New York. My friend Alyssa Gold is here with me. She works at the Tourist Information Bureau in Manhattan, and she's lived in New York City all her life. Welcome, Alyssa.
Thanks, Ben. Happy to be here.
Okay, let's begin. Many visitors to New York arrive at John F. Kennedy Airport in Queens. How do you get from the airport to Manhattan? Is there a train?
No, there isn't a train from the airport all the way into Manhattan. But there's an air train. It's actually a shuttle, and it takes you to the subway. Then you take the subway to Manhattan. Of course, you can also take a bus or a taxi.
Okay, and what about once you get to Manhattan? What are the options for getting around?
There are lots of different ways to get around in Manhattan. The subway goes just about everywhere, and there are lots of buses. There are also plenty of taxis, and there are rental bicycles now. You can rent a bike in one place, ride it to another place, and then leave it there.
What about public transportation from the island of Manhattan to other places, like New Jersey or Brooklyn? Are there different options there, too?
Yes, there are. You can take the subway from Manhattan to many of those places, of course. There are also trains. They take people to other cities and states. And there are ferries to Staten Island and New Jersey.
Okay. Now, let's talk about a couple of famous places for tourists. How do I get from, say, Times Square to the Statue of Liberty?
Well, Times Square is in Midtown Manhattan, and you have to go downtown to get to the Statue of Liberty. It's easy to take the downtown subway from Times Square.
Which subway do I take?
You can take the 1, 2, 3, R, or W lines. Get off in downtown Manhattan at South Ferry Station.
Okay, and then?
You walk to Battery Park and then take the ferry out to the Statue of Liberty.
Great. What about the Brooklyn Bridge? How do I get there from downtown Manhattan?
Okay, so you can listen to that a couple times. Take a look at the map. How can you get from Times Square to the Statue of Liberty? Circle the route on the map. Okay, you can probably figure out a few other things for yourself. But we can't really work on a game here. But you could think of, on your own, how can you take public transportation from your school, okay, to a famous place in your city? I think most of you might be saying public transportation. There might be a bus available, You might need to do some walking, I don't know. You could think about directions on your own. Page 82 is giving directions. Okay, lesson 3 is giving directions. In this case, now this can be quite useful if you ever, not only for giving directions but also learning how to ask directions. Okay, we're just going to talk about some different places here. Let's listen first.
Listen.
An intersection. A stop sign. A sidewalk. A pedestrian crossing. An overpass. The stairs. A lobby. An entrance. An exit. An escalator. An elevator.
Now listen and repeat.
Well, you can listen again and again, but they give you some different places to consider on the outside of the hotel and the inside of the hotel. Okay. Look at these groups of words. Okay, 3 different boxes. Give each group a title and talk about why you chose those titles. Okay. What makes them similar? Escalator, stairs, elevator. What about these 3 words? Entrance, exit, lobby. And finally, sidewalk, overpass, pedestrian crossing. How are they grouped into different words? You need to give it a title, okay, and explain why you chose that title. Prepositions of movement. I'm fairly certain you all also understand this, but we're going to talk about prepositions: to, through, across, on, in, off, around, past, over, and out. These, there's also a few little emojis, not really emojis, but little pictures to help you out. Walk to the door. Okay, let's listen to the coach first.
Hello. Today's lesson is about prepositions of movement. I'm going to see a play this evening. The theater is a little far. First, I have to take the bus. When I get off the bus, I need to walk 2 blocks. Then I have to go past the art museum and walk around the corner to the park. Then I need to walk through the park and across the street to the theater. I hope it's a good play. Prepositions help us understand movement. They describe the kind of movement, how someone or something moves. We use the preposition on with get to talk about entering a bus, train, or plane. We use the preposition off with get for exiting. She got on the bus at 42nd Street. She got off the bus at 57th Street. We use to when we talk about going to a specific place. I'm going to the theater today. We use through to show movement into one side or end of something and out the other side. She walked through the park. For movement from one side of a place to the other, we use across. She went across the street. We also have the prepositions past and around. If we walk past something or past a place, it means we walk by it and continue in a straight direction. I'm walking past the chair now. If we walk around something or around a corner, it means go around it. I'm walking around the chair now. I went past the museum. I walked around the corner. Finally, we have in and out. In shows movement from the outside to the inside. Out shows movement from the inside to the outside. For example, if it's raining outside, you can go in a building to get dry. When the rain stops, you can go out again. I went in the hotel. I went out the exit.
All right, so to further practice that, we're going to go to page 140 and 141. I think there's a couple listening things here, so let's start on the bottom. Okay, part C, page 140. There's a conversation about people talking of their hometowns. In Italy, what options are there for public transportation? How can people get around? So Milan, Antella, and Florence. Let's have a listen.
Conversation 1.
I'm from Milan. We have lots of options for public transportation.
Is there a subway?
Yes, there is. And there are buses, too.
Are there rental bicycles?
Yes, there are. Milan has everything.
Conversation 2.
Is there good public transportation in your town?
Not really, but there are buses.
Is there a subway system?
No, there isn't.
Are there rental bicycles?
No, there aren't. Antella is a small town.
Conversation 3.
Where are you from?
Florence. I live in the city center.
Are there buses in Florence?
Yes, of course there are.
What about a subway?
No, there's no subway.
Can I rent a bicycle there?
Yes, there are bicycles for rent.
Okay. Now, on to page 141. Tony is getting directions from a hotel concierge. Listen and write the prepositions that you hear. Okay, so hotel concierge is basically a person that lives in the lobby and helps guests get around or anything with their hotel stay. They can concierge is pretty much the welcoming community for hotel guests. Anyways, let's listen to the conversations, and you can write down the preposition that you hear.
1.
Walk through the lobby.
2.
Go to the exit for 87th Street.
3.
Go through the doors and turn right.
4.
Walk past the shops to the corner.
5.
Go around the corner and wait at the bus stop.
6.
Get on the number 44 bus.
7.
Get off the bus at West 104th Street.
8.
Go across the street.
9.
Walk past the restaurants. The art gallery will be on your right.
Okay, so pretty much all of these directions were to direct a hotel guest, I assume, to the art gallery. How can they get there precisely? Okay, the rest of the page 141 will be filled out as you complete Unit 7. Using correct prepositions from the box, how would you complete this conversation? Okay, and part C, complete the directions using these prepositions for each conversation. Okay, so if we go back. Pretty good. All right. Now, pronunciation on to the next page, page 83. This is the voiceless such as thanks. Okay. Push the air out between your tongue, with your tongue between your teeth. Between your tongue and your top teeth, do not use your voice. Thanks. 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 We're going to notice the pronunciation, but first we're going to watch the coach explain it a little bit further.
The voiceless TH sound. There are two TH sounds in English. The voiced TH sound, as in they or whether, and the voiceless TH sound, as in thanks or three. We use the voiceless TH sound in thanks, think, theater, something, and mouth. We also use this sound in many numbers, especially ordinal numbers. Listen. 3, 30, 1,000, 10th, 15th, 30th. As you probably know, the sound is always spelled TH. To say the sound, put your tongue between your teeth. Lightly touch your top teeth. Watch my mouth. Thanks. Push air out between your tongue and top teeth. You should feel air on top of your tongue. You can also feel the air on your hand. The sound is voiceless. You don't use your voice to make this sound. You should not feel vibration here. Listen again. It's 3:30. Notice the different sounds in taught, the past tense of teach, and thought, the past tense of think. Taught. Thought. For the sound t in taught, your tongue is just behind your teeth. Watch my mouth. T. Taught. For the sound th, your tongue is between your teeth. Watch my mouth. Taught. Thought. Tree. 3. Notice that we can make the sound th long. The sound t is always short. T. Now notice the different sounds in sync and think. For the sound s in sync, your tongue is behind your teeth. Watch my mouth. S. Sync. Push your tongue forward in front of your teeth to say s. Sync. Think. Mouse. Mouth. Listen to these sentences. Notice the words with the sound th. I think so. Thanks for everything. It's 3:30. The bathroom is through here. It's on 5th Avenue and 23rd Street. The theater is on 8th Avenue. Now listen and repeat. Click on pause after each sentence. I think so. Thanks for everything. It's 3:30. The bathroom is through here. It's on 5th Avenue and 23rd Street. The theater is on 8th Avenue.
Okay. So you should be able to listen and notice the pronunciation.
Listen.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Theater.
Theater.
Theme park.
Theme park.
Third.
Third.
Fourth.
Fourth.
Sixth.
Sixth.
Now.
Well, we already can listen as much as you'd like. Okay, circle the word that you hear. Okay, and listen and repeat as well. What do you hear, sink or think?
Listen. 1,
Sink.
2,
True.
3,
3,
4,
Booth.
5,
Mouse.
6,
Eighth.
Okay. So you can listen again if you'd like. Make one sentence with each of these words from 3B. So there are 6 different sentences I'd like you to write down because we already skipped a few exercises because of games or group work, whatever. So you can try each word that you heard, find the definition if you don't know it already, and see if you can use it correctly in a grammatically correct sentence. 4, we're going to listen to a conversation here. Alright, and you can listen and watch to find the correct answers. Okay, circle the correct answers for part A and complete the conversation in part B. Okay, you can make new conversation using your own ideas if you'd like to practice. But we won't be able to do the role play without using other people. But you can definitely practice on your own, okay? You don't need to do any writing there, but you will need to do some writing here. So let's take a listen and watch the conversation unfold.
Excuse me.
Good morning, ma'am. How can I help you today?
Can you give me directions?
Of course.
Great. How do I get to the Sunny Day Street Market?
Well, you can take the subway or a taxi.
Is there a subway station near here?
Yes, there is. First, go out the entrance to 25th Street, turn right, and walk to the intersection of 25th Street and 8th Avenue.
Uh-huh. Turn right and go to the intersection of 25th and 8th.
Yep. Then turn left on 8th Avenue. You'll see a coffee shop. Go past the coffee shop, walk 2 blocks to 23rd Street.
Left on 8th, 2 blocks to 23rd Street.
Right. The subway station is around the corner. Go down the stairs into the station.
Okay.
Then take the C or E line downtown, get off at 4th Street. The market is right there.
The C or E to 4th Street. Great. Thanks.
My pleasure. Can I help you with anything else?
Let's see. Actually, yes. Did you say there's a coffee shop on the way? I flew in from Chile early this morning and I'm tired.
I bet that's a long flight.
It is, but I'm ready to go exploring. I just need some coffee.
Well, yeah. My favorite coffee shop around here is Cup of Joe. The coffee is excellent. They have good food, too.
Perfect.
It's just around the corner on 8th. You'll see it on your way to the subway.
Perfect again. Bye.
All right, so you should be able to pull off the rest there. And of course they do give you an extra tip to show that you understand. We've actually, remember we talked about this with our small talk midterm project. These are some other words that you could say, like I see, uh-huh, and right, okay, to show that you understand and you're paying attention to someone else who is speaking. Okay, next page. Here's our reading section. Okay, this is reading a story about getting lost. Okay, so if you've ever gotten lost before, it's a little frustrating. Okay, to not know where you are or find your way back. Rosa had trouble finding the museum, but made some great new friends. Sometimes bad luck becomes good luck. Right? What do you do when you arrive in a new place? How do you find your way around? Okay, now I know nowadays almost everyone has a cell phone with maps and blah blah blah. I'm a bit older than you. I mean, there were still lots of paper maps, brochures, and sure, there were cell phones when I was your age, but not smartphones. Of course, the same could be true for if you're driving. Nowadays, people have, GPS and all kinds of things to help them navigate. But we're going to look at some words that you're going to encounter in the reading. Let's just listen to them first.
Listen. 1,
Get lost.
2,
Traditional.
3,
A bakery.
4,
Delicious.
5,
A mood.
6,
An adventure.
7,
A discovery.
8,
A guidebook.
Okay, so we're going to hear those words. I am going to let you listen to this post. This is, it looks like it's from a web page, right? It's got home, discussion board, logout. Good questions is the web page title. And then the title of the actual page is What's Your Favorite Story About a Time You Got Lost? So this is Getting Lost sub page. And Ed writes something on July 27th. Okay, we're going to listen to that. And you can read along as well.
What's your favorite story about a time you got lost? Ed R., July 27th. When I was in my 20s, I went to Colombia to study. On my second day in Bogota, I went out to meet some friends for lunch, but I think I had the wrong address. I walked around for a long time, but I couldn't find the restaurant. Soon, I had no idea where I was. I was a little scared, but then I heard music. I smiled and followed the sound around the corner to a small square. There was a group of musicians playing cumbia, the traditional music of Colombia. A few people were dancing. I watched and listened for a little while. Then the dancers invited me to join them. I don't think I was very good at it, but I had a great time. When the music ended, I thanked the dancers and started walking. Now I wasn't scared at all. I was excited to see more of Bogota. I went into a small bakery across the street. Everything looked delicious, so I bought a piece of cake. I took one bite, and I knew at that moment that I loved Colombia. Almost every day for the next few months, I returned to that bakery. Now, almost 20 years later, I can still remember the taste of that cake. After a few visits, I became friends with the owner and his family. Later, they invited me to their home for Colombia's Independence Day. I learned something that day. Getting lost can be an adventure. Since that visit to Bogota, I have been lost many times in many different places. When I go to a new city, I don't use the GPS on my phone. I follow my mood, not a map. When I get lost, I make wonderful discoveries, like a neighborhood street market, a beautiful view of the mountains that is not in any guidebook, or, best of all, a new friend.
Okay. So you can listen to that more than once if you'd like. The next page, you can talk about your understanding of the main ideas, find the correct answer, focus on the language, what do the underlined words mean. Reading skill, check the sentences that give examples of adventures and discoveries. Okay. What is the post about? Retell the most important ideas. Use your own words. Okay. And then finally, make it personal. Can you think of a time when you got lost? What happened? Use your notes to help you. So, let's see. For instance, I've been lost many times, and often in countries I couldn't speak the native language. Let's see, I've been to about 53 or 54 countries now in the world, and many of them you can survive with English, but not all of them. Let's see, what's a good example? Where and when did you get lost? I can think of one fairly safe story that turned out to be really funny for me. When I was about 19 or 20 years old, I traveled to Europe for 8 months to go backpacking, and I flew over from Canada with my girlfriend at the time because she was going to study in Italy, and she had family in Italy, so I stayed with their families for just a short time. But I wanted to travel, so I went to Paris for a little bit on the train. That was fun, but maybe my second month or so, I was backpacking through Switzerland, and I wasn't really sure where I was. Lots of small towns, trying to find a bus to go back to Perugia in Italy to go back and take another train to another country. And I couldn't find the bus station. Luckily I was just on the highway and backpacking, and I guess this was quite a while ago, 20 years ago. It was okay to stick out your thumb and hitchhike from time to time, as long as you are not getting in a scary situation. But this was the middle of the day, and I saw a bus, so I put my thumb out, and it was a bus full of nuns. Okay, if you don't know what a nun is, they have black dresses and white hoods, because they're basically sisters of God. They work with like a priest, or anyways, the whole bus was full of nuns, very religious Catholic nuns, and I was 20 years old or less, and with a huge backpack and a scruffy beard, and they stopped, and they told me to get in, and with broken English and broken Italian, we were able to communicate that I just needed to go to the next bus depot. How did I feel? I felt a little embarrassed, but happy. What did you do? I was trying to be as thankful as possible, because they found a seat for me, and they didn't ask me for anything. In fact, they shared some bread and some juice, and we had some food on the bus. How did you find your way? Well, yeah, they actually helped. Asking for help when you're lost or when you're having a problem is not the end of the world, okay? Was it an adventure? It sure was, and it's a great story. And I was remember they were we were just having a blast. We were laughing and having fun, even though none of us could speak each other's language perfectly. We were able to communicate through gestures and half of a language, you know. On my little bit of Italian and their a little bit of French, and they were able to use a bit of their broken English, and it was super fun, and it took a couple hours, and then we took photos, and they were just glad to help, and everybody was smiling, and it was a fantastic adventure for me. Can you think of your own ideas or examples? Maybe it's not such a good story, but possibly you have some good experience being lost. Hopefully you can remember the good parts, not the bad parts, right? And share your own ideas. Okay? This might come up in your final test as well, so don't slough off. Okay, try it out and try to think. Take your notes and try to think of how to explain that in a spoken voice. Okay, guys. The next page is writing, but we did skip a few things. So what I'd like you to do is just focus only on page 86. If you'd like to finish the writing section, you can. But I'd like everyone to check out this one page. Okay, you have to read the email. Where does Nina need to go? Okay, take notes on her directions and then complete the steps in the order of the circles. Okay, so from the airport, what does she do? All the way to the university. Alright? Now, if you'd like to do the tiebreaker thing, which I've always been saying, you can also read and do the writing skill, okay, where you plan your own writing and finish it. Okay, make sure that you are able to complete this, and in case of a tie, I will give you extra credit for page 87. Page 88, the media project we will ignore as usual. We don't have time for that, but you can certainly take a look at your reading strategies. Excuse me. And you can take a look at the bottom of the page here, looking back at what you've learned, okay, and check the things that you feel confident about. If you're not confident, you can go back and study a bit more so that you are able to understand, comprehend, revise, edit, and review for your test. Okay. Yeah, the next page is our Unit 8. Perhaps this will be our last unit. We have a lot of things coming up very quickly, but this is already week 11, and before you know it, we're going to be into our review week. So, we're not starting 8 yet, but it possibly will be our last one to work in the book. I'll see what happens, but I'll share more information with you as that comes along. I think we've been recording for more than an hour, even though I've been editing. It's going to be close to probably more than an hour. So we can stop there today. I hope that everyone is doing well. The summer is coming quickly. It is getting warmer. Make sure that you guys are staying safe, wearing your mask just a bit longer. Hopefully by the next semester there might be more students allowed back at school, something like that, and you won't have to learn online for the next year. Maybe you can make some more friends at school. Anyway, until then, you can make some friends on Zoom. I'll see you guys all on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on your class, and we will talk some more. All right? But until then, you've got the week. Remember to submit on time with all of your papers. I will write out your product assignment notes and post it this week as well. But you can start whenever you watch this video. You can start on your work. All right? Good luck, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.